Hello everybody! As you can see, it's that time of year again, where I buy a new toy and am compelled to bring out my camera to talk about it. This is a review for the 2011 Power Rangers Samurai Clawzord. Let's begin. Starting with the packaging, we can see right away there's two distinct differences. First is the actual design. Just recently they decided to redesign the packaging for these Megazords. Same for the Clawzord and the recent Samurai Megazords, if you see them. And you see it's actually quite nice. You have the layout right in the front, which also leads to the second change. There's a timing function. The toy's gimmick is that it can switch faces. So there's a little knob here. You twist it and you can switch the faces, which will be fun for kids, I guess. The rest of the packaging we'll get to. Side, nice picture of the Rangers with Mega Gold in the center. On the back, you have a nice layout of all this toy's functions, which I'll get to, and its combination down here. And on this side, you have a quick picture of combination and Mega Gold. So, with that done, let's open this guy up, shall we? And now that it's unpackaged, we see that we have some assembly to do. Now, I'm going to briefly go through both modes, partially because for some reason the instructions this time don't include how to get to the Zord mode, the lobster. It tells for every other mode, just not for that one. I don't know why, but then again it's rather easy to figure it out anyway. For starters, this piece should be assembled like so. Turn around. These pieces are going to become the legs. Simply snap them on, as shown. This thing is going to slip onto the front. We'll push these down. And these pieces, whether they're folded or not, should be unfolded and placed on the back, on these little pegs. And here we have the Claw Battlezord. Now to get into the lobster mode, first take all these pieces out. This and this thing. So turn around. Fold these claw pieces down. Flip them upwards. Move this back. The leg pieces you're going to swivel in like so, and the feet are going to swivel out, so you have to get it like that. Connect them together and place it down. From here, this is going to become the tail, so there's going to be two holes here, two pegs. Snap it on, bend the tail at the tip. The two swords are going to become the head, just snap together. Little attachments here. And last but not least, detach the arms and switch them around to avoid the screws. Alright. And there you have the Samurai Clawzord. So we start off with the Clawzord first, and right away you'll notice something different from the other Zords. It's big. This is the biggest Zord we have in the Samurai line so far. Mostly because it's one Zord forming a Battle Zord. That makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in scale of an actual lobster. So right away you can see it as a very large, very colorful Zord, although the orange is kind of bright, but not too bad. Also notice that, unfortunately, this thing is held up only on this. Remove it and it goes flat. The tail will usually go flat. So make sure not to lose this. Articulation wise, it's pretty basic and good enough for a Zord. The arms go all around, claws open. The tail can bend all the way down this way, which I like. Again, I'm sitting down. Now, the only thing that I'll majorly gripe about is the paint. Band of America usually does leak paint off Zords many times. What bugs me is in the claws. Originally, the original mold had this entire part painted in gold so as to cover up and make it look like an actual claw. But they left bits of blue on this one. The claw is fine. This still looks like it has a fist, and it kind of bugs me. It's fine for the Battlezord, not so much the Clawzord. But to compensate, they actually added a feature. You see these two little pegs up here? You can take a Ranger figure. Come here. You can stick them on the peg, and they can ride it. And yes, it's the same gimmick as the auxiliary Zords, but it's actually a lot less intrusive here. I guess because they actually do kind of do this in the show, getting onto the Zord. But it's still actually nice. You can pose them, twist them around. Well, make sure they don't fall off. But otherwise, it's rather nice. So other than that, that's about it for the Clawzord. So now we move on to the Claw Battlezord mode. Again, as we see, it is a very big Zord, so it would make a naturally big mode. By itself, it's about the same size as the Samurai Megazord, just a bit bigger with all these appendages sticking out. Articulation-wise, it's about the same. Well, the arms are exactly the same. The legs are a bit iffy. Now, they can't really bend. They could twist. They could snap in like that if you want to do a pose. The thing is that because of the way it was built for the tail, the joints here for the legs are loose. So you have very loose legs, which may be a problem if you're trying to stand it up or pushing it down so it can almost do the splits. You're going to notice it wobble a bit as I move it around, but you can still stand upright. Now, the main gimmick for this toy is that for its battle modes. In that for each of these faces, it can choose a battle mode specific for that face. Now, being a toy, it doesn't matter what face you choose, but I'm going to go in order anyway. So right now, it is the red face, this is Battlezord East, and this is for the claws. Bring them down. And again, I mentioned that I do like this paint like this. This is how it's more meant to me instead of the lobster. It looks more natural. So I have no complaints here. The next mode, Battlezord South. This is the one I guess use the katanas. So you take these out, hold them, and face the hollow part inside. And again, it's actually rather neat, aside from the swords having little eyes. Size-wise, it's good for this mode. Not so good for a later mode, which we'll get to. But yeah, it's still nice. Next up, Battlezord West. This one gets to use the tail, which then becomes a fan. This plugs into here. Now, aside from the pretty sticker, this doesn't do too much other than... Get back here. This doesn't do too much other than just be in that position. You can't switch it around. This was part of the original mold, Daikaio, so it has to be dealt with. And it can flick off. I do like the face though. The last mode is Battlezord North. As of now, I can't use this because this is specifically to be combined with the Octozord, which I'll get to some other time. So, that's all the modes to go through, so let's move on to combination. Okay, so now that I have both the Clawzord and the Samurai Megazord, it is time for a new combination to show itself off. So let's begin. With the Samurai Megazord, you're going to move the arms back, like so, and then detach the legs. Let them sit. This one, detach its legs. Get it to where these parts line up, like so. And then bend it. Bend it. And these are going to attach to the top of the legs, like so. And then you reattach them to the Megazord. Take off the helmet, fold it down, fold this back, and you're done with this for now. With this guy, to attach all his little weapons, and split that. If you already noticed, yes, there's a head there, so flip it forward. Fold this up. Fold this up. Leave it like that for now. This, no matter what face you have here, is going to attach right here. So. Alright. This. This is going to connect up to here. So. The swords, fold them. Last but not least, this connects right to here. So now we have arrived at whatever this thing's called, I don't know. The instructions are wise to leave out any future combinations this time, so we have to find out in the show what this thing's called. Otherwise, we can see that with both combined, it's actually a little bigger. Mostly because of the headdress up here, for the extravagant headdress. Go around. Now, the size itself is pretty impressive enough, and so is the little aesthetics here that I like, such as the chest plate. There is some problems I have with this mode, though. I don't know if it's exclusive for the American mode. Just size-wise, because of the katana shape, they're now a little too small for this mode. And the arm articulation is limited by both these pieces, which I'll get to, or this headdress. So you're kind of stuck in the middle. The legs, you could still turn. The problem is because of these pieces that this is top-heavy. And that it likes to lean forward. I believe it does better without them, but whatever. This is for the combination. Now on the back, we have a problem more exclusive to this mode. Now originally, these two are supposed to connect back here. They connect back, fold up, and hold the swords. The problem is, they don't fold up. Well, this one doesn't. So you're kind of stuck with awkward arms. Which is fine if you want a four-armed Megazord. I've done that before and I like it. But again, these two kind of get dicked out for the future combinations. They're just little tumors. So it's up to you what you want to do with these pieces. You could bring them up here. You could put them here. Switch them around to match the colors. Your choice. It doesn't really bother that much. And it's still very top-heavy with or without the arms. Just saying. So other than that, it has problems, but you have a nice looking display piece, and a nice looking whatever this is going to be called. So that's about it for this thing. And last but not least, we can see that the part swapping gimmick is still active with the Clawzord, as you can combine it with other figures or vehicles. As it proves on this one, yeah, these pieces make it loose. This is perfectly stable. But otherwise, yeah, there's a bit of switching limbs around, and you can have your own little combo, which is still active and I still like. So overall, despite some changes and limitations from the original and the new mold, The Samurai Clawzord is a pretty good toy. It's a very big Zord on its own, and in both modes does a lot more features than the Samurai Megazord by itself, which probably be good for me or any other kid enjoying it. Now, price-wise, I bought this at a Walmart for around $30. But then again, when it becomes more commonplace, it'll probably be lower. Probably $25 or $20. That's about the range for the Megazords as of now. So with that said, we'll end here, so thanks for watching and have a good day.